Hello, everybody. Wild Bill for America here, and it's time to take a bite out of the news. What are people up to? Well, it looks like yet another massive betrayal of the American people by Washington, D.C. The spending monkeys of Congress just gave Barack Obama everything he wants again. Yep, Paul Ryan, the new Speaker of the House, just proved that he is as bad as Boehner. You know, the American people have been shouting, stop, stop the insanity of the foreign nationals' invasion, especially the unvetted Muslim men coming from terrorist nations. We see jihad coming, and we see a federal government that apparently doesn't give a rat's patootie about American families. Paul Ryan, Republican Rhino, just handed Obama $1.6 billion to continue the invasion all the way through 2018. Sanctuary cities, fully funded. All refugees, fully funded. Climate change agenda, fully funded. That is the biggest money-making scam in the history of the world. What an embarrassment. John Boehner, former Republican Speaker of the House, had to flee his post because of his despicable kowtowing to Obama. And, we, the people, were ready to burn the Capitol building to the ground, and now Paul Ryan just shoved a knife in our backs, just like John Boehner would have. This is why Trump is polling so strong. People will no longer tolerate the lawlessness and the insanity of the establishment Republicans and their evil twins, the Democrats. Oh, there's a reckoning coming. And it'll be settled politically by the 2016 elections, or it will be settled in a more dramatic way, should the elections prove to be as dishonest as the representation that we've had lately. All right, let's balance that awful report with some good news. It looks like America has her very first Black Robe Regiment candidate for Congress. Jack Martin of the Florida's 11th District is leading the charge for men of sound character and respect for God to return to public office. Man, there's only one thing that can rein in the suicidal policies of D.C., and that is a return to the foundational principles of America. Government by men who know that they will one day stand before God to answer for how they governed. We desperately need elected officials who will frame all of their decisions with that in mind. So keep an eye on Jack Martin, Florida's 11th Congressional District. If you're a man or woman of faith, regardless of where you live, you should support Jack as he becomes the first of many Black Robe Regiment leaders to step into the political arena armed with the full counsel of God to guide him. Michael Moore called Donald Trump a wuss. Michael Moore, ye big dummy. Moore wrote, "You're not so tough, Donnie. You know what? Sounds like it's time to challenge Moore to put on the boxing gloves. Tell you what, Mr. Trump, you challenge Michael Moore, Al Sharpton, and Whoopi Goldberg to a cage match, and I'll bring Ann Coulter up with me from South Florida, and we will take them on in the most watched, knockdown, drag out in American history." Knocking Michael Moore on his keister would boost your poll numbers like nothing else. Well, actually, there is one guy you could knock on his keister that would really boost your numbers, but he would be hiding in the unisex bathroom next to the Oval Office. I see several articles, including one from CNN that says, Obama's preparing a serious push to confiscate guns from legal owners. Oh, we've known this was coming for years. Now, while a lot of liberals have fantasized about doing this, only Obama is narcissistic and deluded enough to actually try such a stunt. And it looks like Smith & Wesson tripled their expected sales or profits this last quarter. Does that sound like we the people are going to give up our guns? There's no doubt in our minds that the current crop of politicians in Washington, D.C. will never defend American security, so we will. And, just food for thought. Do you guys know what actually triggered the American Revolution? It was when the Redcoats tried to confiscate privately owned firearms. You guys might want to think about that. This is Wild Bill for America, and this has been News Bites. Thanks for watching, and America, bless God again.